Hello and welcome to PDFsupply.com. Today we're going to be testing an IC695ALG508. This is an RX3i isolated resistance temperature detector with 8 channels. I have it powered up in a rack right now. First thing that you want to look at, of course, if you're testing this device, is that you have these lights should be green. All right, I'm going to show you a couple quick things here. First, you need a high density terminal strip. This is an IC694TBB032 in order to do the test. When the terminal strip is fully attached to the module, you want to have this lever in the uprightmost position, and then you'll have a field status and a terminal block will turn green, showing you that you're fully connected to all the terminals. And again, the module OK light should be blinking green. If it's red, or if you don't have a light on at all, that means that there's something more catastrophically wrong with this device and it would need repair or replacement. Okay. From left to right, I have an IC695 PSA040 power supply, an IC695 CPU 320, and an IC695 ETM001 Ethernet card that I'm connected to right now. And this is all in an IC695 CHS007 7-slot chassis. You can also use a 012 or a 016. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go to Proficy Machine Edition. Now I'm going to establish a new open file with the same components that I just mentioned in my hardware configuration. So under Navigator bar, you'll see I have an IC695 CHS007 7-slot rack, and in that rack is my power supply using slots 0 and 1, CPU using slots 2 and 3, and ETM using slot 4. Alright, that leaves me with slot number 5. I'm going to right click on that, or you can double click, add module, analog input, IC695ALG508. Okay. Now it's going to require some configuration. Now for this particular test, you guys are able to do a 4-wire RTD, 3-wire, or 2-wire. I'm just going to be using a 2-wire, which would eliminate the need for me to use any jumpers to show you how to test these channels. However, if you guys have an application where you need a 3 or a 4-wire, just refer to your manual, which is GFK 2501B, and it has indications of how you should wire the terminal. Channel 1 is currently disabled. I'm going to go with resistance, which gives me 0 to 250 ohms, and I'll be using for this test a 150 ohm resistor to get a response. And I'm going to switch over to 16-bit integer. Alright. Resistance, 0 to 250, 16. And you want to do this with all the channels. Now another point is that all the channels have the exact same configuration. So I'm expecting to see the same result on each channel when I probe it with the resistor. Alright? It's very important to remember. This is so that if there's a variable, if there's a difference in any of the channels, I'm going to check into that one particular channel if there's one that's giving me a different response and see what the problem is. Alright, that's usually an indication that there's an issue with a channel. But my configuration is done. I'm going to connect up to the processor by hitting this lightning bolt icon, bringing me online, and then hitting the green handprint to toggle me to online mode. Now you should check down below where my arrow is, and programmer mode, stop, means that the processor's stopped and not in run mode. Disabled means that the inputs and outputs are disabled. Configuration and logic are not equal. That's because the processor was doing something different before we've asked it to do this. We're going to go to Target, Online Commands, go to Clear, and we're just going to clear a controller and I/O fault table based on these configuration and logic not being equal, and select OK. Yes. That'll keep us from getting hung up when we do the download, which is what we're going to do right now. We're going to go to Download and Start Active Target. When it asks us what we want to download, it's hardware configuration and motion and logic. Okay. Do we want to turn on the outputs? Yes. Now, at this point, you should be in run mode. If you follow my arrow again down below, our status is programmer mode, run enabled, configuration and logic are both equal. That's what you guys should be at right now. If for some reason you guys aren't at that stage where I'm at right now, look at your feedback zone over here. See if it's giving you any errors, and if that doesn't work, go to Target and Diagnostics. If you click on Diagnostics right here, your info viewer screen will turn into a fault table viewer. And as you can see, I don't have any faults or errors. All right, so now if you are in run mode, you can follow the test. We're going to go over to Default Tables, Analog Input. All right, now as you can see, I've already got values here. And I'm going to probe each of these channels, which according to my diagram is the outermost portions of each channel. So my channel 1 through 4, by the way, is on the left hand side of this terminal strip. Channels 5 through 8 are on the right hand side. Okay? So 2 and 5 are the terminals that I need to probe in order to get information to channel 1. And as you can see, it's already turned into 149 based on my 150 ohm resistor, so that's accurate. 6 and 9 is channel number 2. 150. 10 and 13. 14 and 17. You'll notice that there are 2 terminals in between the terminals that I'm probing. Okay, so again, those are for the 3 and 4 wire configurations, and I'm only using 2. Bear that in mind. All right, and the same thing, channel number 5. Channel number 6. All right, and I'm looking at these responses, and they're all the same all the way across the board. 149 on every single channel. So all 8 channels are giving me a few things that you're looking for a good working device. If you're testing this to understand how it works is one thing. If you're testing it because you may think that it's giving you a problem in the field, what I suggest is that you do as I did. Go through these steps, make sure that the module has green lights, no red lights, or lack of lights would be a problem. And at that point, I think you wouldn't be able to follow the test. If you've gotten as far as I have, and you're able to probe each channel, the things that you're looking for is accuracy in the response. So again, I was using a 150 ohm resistor, and it was giving me a figure of 149. That's perfect. And the other thing, of course, is that that figure stays stable. It doesn't go up and down, okay? It should enter as 149 and stay at 149. It shouldn't go up to 153 and down to 147 and be fluctuating all over the place. If it's doing something like that, there's a problem with the device. It's definitely distracted. And the other thing is, of course, that I actually do have a response. If you touch the channels and for some reason you don't have a response, check to see if the screws are tight enough to give you a response. Sometimes that gives you trouble. But otherwise, when you probe these channels on the accurate channels or the right placement of the screws, then you should have a response. Okay? I hope this has been helpful. If you do find that you have a problem, this is a device that we commonly repair here at PDF Supply. We have remanufactured products and new products and same-day shipping. Thank you.